Thank you so much for joining me. I've been following you for a long time, but for a while I haven't caught up with the Passion Sundays. So I caught up with the last couple of them, and I have to say they are just amazing. I think one day I want to sit back and just go through all of them. How
Yes.
many have you done so far? How many people have you interviewed?
Till date, we've done 160, over 160 interviews. 160.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Let's start with you telling me a little bit about yourself and
Uh,
your
well,
journey to where you are today.
sure. So I basically, I've been in Dubai since the year 2000, and I had started my career in PR. I got known for a lot of the amazing events that I would do, either nightlife events like parties or daytime events like conferences and product launches. And you can imagine how crazy my lifestyle became. And I just woke up one day fed up with my lifestyle, and I said, this is not really for me. And I bought a one-way ticket to India. India was a big enlightening experience for me. However, there were two highlights that changed my life. One of them was meeting a guru, an Indian guru or a swami that had been meditating in caves for 13 years. And in one of the interactions with him, I'm asking him about life, the meaning of life, purpose, all of this. And he had a long beard. He used to play with his beard, and he'd look at me and go, "Do you know what you are thirsty for? Because if you do not know what you are thirsty for, you cannot quench your thirst."
Is that a popular saying? I have
No,
heard that
actually, you
before,
you
or was
probably would
that
have heard it in one of
specifically
my
for him?
interviews. No, no, that was him actually. That was my actual interaction with him. So you
Maybe
might have heard this story somewhere else.
and that is so true. How do
And
you know what passion is if you don't know
well,
what you're
I
longing
don't.
for?
The thing is, I
Hmm.
did not know what I was thirsty for. I did not know what I was thirsty for. I realized that I had been uh, looking for an answer, but I did not really know the actual question. And this was the beginning of my journey of knowing that, oh, well, I am lost because I don't know what I'm thirsty for. Few months later on that journey, I was uh, in India, going from one place to the next, and I walk into a hospital, and I, by coincidence, discovered a medical condition, and that medical condition was, fairly serious but not life-threatening. I healed from it naturally. However, after I healed, I had to sit down and reflect, and I asked myself, if this was a cancer, or if this was a serious condition that I was going to die from, if this was the last day of my life, did my life really matter? And it was that question that made me go, you know what, I wasn't really proud of my life. I have not done things that are truly meaningful to me. I have not left any positive impact on the planet. And it was because of those answers that I thought, you know what, I really want to have impact. So I kind of knew what I'm thirsty for, but I didn't have the full answer yet. I fly to Dubai so I went in 2012 to India. I fly to Dubai, back to Dubai in 2013. And I'm sitting in a hotel, and a person passing by randomly walks up to me. He goes, "Hey, you're that speaker guy." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You did your talk about India." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You changed my life." And it was because
Wow.
of that interaction that I'm like,
Wow.
that's what I'm thirsty for. I'm thirsty for having impact that will change people's lives.
Making a difference.
Yes. And this was
I
really how I started with with the whole journey of talking about passion and purpose. However, at the beginning, it wasn't that clear. I was talking about purpose. Then it was the beginning when I had this idea for the Passion Sundays talk show that all my work started becoming global.
How long have you been doing the Passion Sundays now?
I started in January 2016, and it's been an episode a week since then. But I have already more in the bag. That's why we've crossed the 160. I actually have enough episodes to last for a while. So
You do have a lot of amazing material.
mhm.
I cannot wait for your book. I'm so excited about that.
Thank you.
I find so many similarities. Everything that in your interview and the questions you ask, I'm on a similar journey with people, and probably not as polished, but it's been an awakening for me just from being able to learn from other people.
Of course.
And I feel like so many people are sleepwalking through life,
100%.
and passion is that energy that wakes everybody up.
100%.
So let me ask you, when you think of passion, and you've interviewed over 160 and you've asked the same question, let me throw that question back at you. How do you define passion? What does it mean to
Beautiful.
you?
Beautiful question. So after a couple of years and 160 interviews and talks with thousands of audiences, we've distilled the knowledge of passion. However, I'm not going to give you the final definition immediately. I'm going to take you through the process and the progress of how the passion definition evolved. At the beginning, when I was talking about passion, I was talking about doing what you love, which is pretty much the obvious definition for everybody. Everybody says passion is what you love. When you do what you love, then you are doing your passion. And I interviewed Brian Tracy, who's my co-author. I've co-authored a book with him, and he's one of my mentors. And he said, you will never be passionate about something that you are not good at. So imagine if you are singing and you don't sound good and you don't practice to be good and you get on stage, people will keep booing you off the stage. You're not going to stay passionate at it. You only get passionate at it when you love it and work at it, you get good at it, then the passion will be replenished. So the definition of passion became doing what you love and what you are good at. As we progressed with that, we started also doing more work. And then I interviewed a gentleman in the name of Fons Trompenaars. He's a Dutch-French organizational behavior specialist.
Say that again?
Fons.
Interpreted didn't quite get it.
Yeah, Fons. It's a Dutch name. It's not easy to. It's a Fons, Fons, Fons Trompenaars. So he's a leading management theorist, considered one of the top 50 management thinkers alive. And he came up, he told me, be careful because the wrong kind of passion can hurt the world. And I'm like, what do you mean wrong kind of passion? There's no wrong kind of passion. All passion is good. I am Mr. Passion and all passion is good. He goes, really, think about Hitler.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I realized
misdirected.
Yes,
Doesn't
so
necessarily
100%.
good for the world.
Yeah. So he said. So then I realized that the quality of your passion comes from the quality of your purpose. So the quality of your passion comes from the quality of your purpose, and passion is purpose at the end of the day. So really, it's not enough to be good at something. Yeah. So you have to. Passion became doing what you love, what you are good at, and is of value to people or to the world. However, even then, after a few years, we added a new element to it because we realized I would do these talks and workshops, and I would come a few months later and talk to people, and they're not really that passionate about it. They're still gone. I'm like, what happened? Where's all the passion? And they go, oh, I don't know. Life took over. Life got busy. And we realized that the differentiating factor is the word consistently. So true passion is to consistently do what you love, what you're good at, and is of value to the world. So this is the key element, because a lot of people are doing what they love. A lot of people are doing what they're good at. A lot of people are doing things that are of value to the world. But only those who stay at it day in, day out, and stay consistent at it become really passionate and become legendary passionate people. The rest are on a journey of building up their passion. But this is the breaking point that defines truly passionate people from people who have some passion.
Mm-hmm. So that persistence is something that's definitely related to passion.
Yes.
It's almost like a twofold thing. Passion is something that will carry you, through that rough stuff and allow you to persist if you have that energy within you. I'm always perplexed that, like, I would do a retreat, I would do a workshop, and I'll check back in with someone a month later, 2 months later, and they're back to the same thing.
Yeah.
What do you think is that key to getting people to light up, to have that transformation, that metamorphosis, the same thing that you came to that point in your life where, okay, I don't like where this is going and I want to change. What is the key to getting people to honor that point in their life and truly make that change?
It's a bit of a tricky question because for some people like me, it took a breaking point. For some people, it's a matter of progression. So it really depends on what kind of a journey the person is on. Are they actually really seeking that passion and calling? And even with a breaking point for me in Dubai, and even after meeting the Swami in India, it took me a big medical shock to really wake me up and put me on the right track. Okay. Equally, some people are more of a slow but steady progress. So they like to keep reading and searching, and they watch the interviews. And, you know, I had a lot of my clients, a lot of our followers and our fans are, they have, few of them just message me, say, oh, they've done the passion journey and they already found their passion, they're following their passion. So for them, it did not require a drastic situation. It just came after a slow progression. But what's most important out of all of them, and which was common, is the consistency. Because even in my case, I stayed from 2008 when I had my breakdown up until 2012. I was still searching. 2012, I bought a one-way ticket to India while I was still searching. 2013, I was back in Dubai and I was still working at it. So consistency is the key element. As long as somebody has that feeling of emptiness inside of them, which they want to fulfill, and they continually keep going and pursuing and searching, they are gonna be able to find their passion.
I like that. That was a good answer. It is a tough question. And I think it's something that, you know, pretty much all of the self-help movement has been searching for, those answers.
Yes.
Of all the interviews that you have done, which is the one that really stands out in your heart, in your mind?
Oh, wow, that's even a tougher question. That's a very tough question for a simple reason. I think every single one of them has had a lot of impact on me, and I've had at least a golden nugget that I took away with me out of that interview, which is obviously the distillation of all of those interviews is what I have done in, you know, I have distilled to bring into the book. So now the book that's coming out at the end of this year, which is Live Passionately, is the distillation of everything that I've kind of learned from that journey. However, there are a few that stand out probably in the earlier stages. As I said, some of them contributed to directly to the definition of passion. And there's something in each of them that I could share. So randomly and not in any order, the one with Brian Tracy is the one where he said to me, you're not going to be passionate about anything until you're good at it. And this contributed to the definition of passion. And also I asked him, is it important for the company to invest in helping employees find their passion? And his answer is no, this is not their problem as much as it's not their problem to chew your food. It's your problem to chew your food. So this was one that stood out. The one I did with Professor Tony Buzan, the inventor of mind mapping, he's actually the person who gave me the global nickname Mr. Passion. And in that interview, he talked about how passion energy is like a volcano. And this energy is what brings that drive. And a lot of times, interestingly, the anger that people have is anger against something that goes against their passion. So he says, in my case, this is why he called me Mr. Passion, because he says, in your case, it's very obvious that you're furious when you see people who are not passionate about what they do. You get furious. And this fury is the passion inside you towards bringing passion to the work that people do. And this is, you know, this stood out a lot about the volcano of energy and the fact that anger is good when it's coming out of passion because it gives you that drive. Another one was with Fons Trompenaars, which I said to you, we actually did it on an iPhone in the car on the way to the airport because he was so passionate about doing the interview and we did not have time. So we actually did it literally in the car and we stopped by the minute we got to the airport. So that was a great one. And this is where he said to me, think about, wrong kind of passion can hurt the world. And he also said one more thing to me where he said, passion is not only waving your hands. Because people think passion is just about being yay and things. That's not necessary. Introverts can be passionate. Quiet people can be passionate. Everybody has a different way of expressing their passion. So these were very valuable ones for me. Again, all of these people have been kind of mentors to me along the journey. So they've contributed a lot into my life, and probably this is why these interviews stuck with me. And then Dr. Marshall Goldsmith. And in this interview, he taught me his secret meditation on the show live when you're interviewing. He says, I'll teach you my secret meditation of how I stay passionate. Because I asked the same question, how do you stay passionate? And he goes, do you want to learn the meditation? I said, yeah. He goes, okay, close your eyes. I close my eyes, put my hand like this. He goes, do. There's no business like show business. And we start laughing. And I'm like, okay, this is hilarious. So what's the deal? He goes, listen, in life, when you're passionate, it's always showtime. And when it's showtime, you really got to do the show. Your foot hurts, you're tired, you don't like it, you're in the mood, the curtains open and the show must go on. And when you act from that space every single day, then you will know what passion really means. It's not only when you feel like it, you have to bring that passion. When a singer, when an actor, when a president of a country, that's why these people are associated with passion more than anybody else, because they don't have an excuse for not being passionate. They have to be passionate. Mm-hmm. So this also stuck with me. Yeah.
So this my laundry fell over. I love that. I have a barefoot water ski coach who said to me that passion is fuel. Yes. It'll push you through the hard stuff. It's the fuel that will get you through. Especially like in competition when you're required to perform those 15 seconds on the water. Passion is that fuel that will get you through it and put you, in the top tier of the champions. So I really like that. I will tell you that one that really impacted me was actually this morning with the art therapist, the one who passed away literally days after your interview.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Mira. Oh, that was another powerful one. I mean, it gave me goosebumps. She actually died on the week we are editing the video because we recorded it. And on the week we edited, I had not paid attention. But she said 5 times on the interview, 5 times, she said, die with passion, die smiling, to die. I never noticed that, but it was never had anybody say the word death or die 5 times on a single interview. Actually, not a single time anybody, talked that explicitly about death. And she talked 5 times about it and dies the week after.
Was she suffering from something?
No, she just went to bed and didn't wake up.
Unexpected?
Unexpected.
That was unexpected.
That's what
I just find it very chilling, yet very beautiful.
Yeah.
Because I think that kind of really sums up passion very well, to live a life so passionately that when death comes, it's okay. Because you have lived life full out, you have tapped into your gifts, you have shared those gifts. And I think I'm getting chills right now just thinking about her interview. To me, that was probably one of the most powerful ones because at the end of it, to know that she had, gone on a different journey after that. And what a beautiful message she left us.
Yeah, beautiful. Very powerful.
It was. So another question I have for you,
mm-hmm.
and it's something that I personally have gone through with this whole passion journey, is what do you do when even when you know what you're longing for and you hit a dark spot and passion wanes and you're feeling, you're in this slump and you're feeling like you're okay, the human side of you kicks in. During those times of life, how do you revive yourself with passion again?
Very good question. So obviously there are twofold to this question. One of them is that you need to remember that the power plant does not have energy, it generates energy. Okay? So you have to generate that energy day in, day out. So really, if you're sitting and waiting for passion to come by itself, you will realize that after a while, passion will not always be there. If anything, you'll be challenged with your passion. Do you know where the word passion comes from in Latin? In Latin, the word passion means passio. It comes from the root word passio. Passio means to suffer and endure. So realistically, in passion, there's an endurance of pleasure and pain. And due to the process of going through pleasure and pain and enduring that, you bring the passion. So sometimes you're going to feel excited about the passion, and sometimes you're going to feel really down, but you're going to keep moving even when you're feeling down and depressed. And the more you do of that, the more you become stronger, and you start learning that you can generate the passion along the way. Now, there are lots of tricks and tips that we give in our book, actually. Well, it's not in the book, it's in the online course, The Passion Journey, where you want to learn to take pit stops. So you see, it's like a Formula One car. It doesn't keep going around and around. They stop for a quick pit stop to just take a break and continue. Okay? Then the other thing is that separately from that is you want to always realign with your purpose, because passion is purpose. So if you are doing something and you're not seeing the big purpose behind it, you will probably find it hard to actually pursue that passion anymore, because you're not seeing the big reason behind it. So if you remind yourself of why am I doing it in the first place, and what is the big purpose behind it, you will replenish your passion. If you cannot find that answer, maybe it's not your true passion. Because remember, passion is consistently. So if you're not able to keep the consistency, maybe it's not really your passion. But you have to be careful, because people might use that as an excuse. So really what you do is you go back to the, third point, which is the actual purpose behind what you're doing. Is it really of value, and is it really a purpose that offers value to everybody around? And if that is the case, then you go back to point number 2, which is, are you getting good at it? Because sometimes you don't feel the energy because you don't feel you're good. It's like you're trying to get on stage and sing, and because you are not good at singing, people keep booing you off stage and throwing rotten tomatoes at you. Then you say, oh, I'm not passionate. Yeah, but the question is, have you invested enough time to be able to get that great feeling of achievement? Then you will be able to stay consistent at it. Okay, and there are a lot of exercises that we give. It takes a lot of time. I cannot say them all now, but if you would go to the Passion Journey that we do online course, and there's actually a full module. Yeah, there's a full module called the Success Mindset, and that module is basically purely about how to align your thoughts in a way that helps you stay passionate. However, if all else fails, there's one simple question. A person asked me at an event I was at. I was on a panel actually with Dr. Marshall Goldsmith and Fons Trompenaars. And someone asked me, he said, I have to leave in 60 seconds from here. Can you entice me to pursue my passion? Help me find my passion and entice me to pursue my passion. And I have to leave now. How can you do it? I'm like, interesting. Well, let me ask you a question. If you have a check in your name with $1 billion today, what would you do for a living? You have a check with your name on it with 1 billion, 1 and 9 zeros. What would you do for a living? He goes, oh, I would do this and this. I said, okay, great. Can you guarantee that you're gonna live long enough to pursue that dream? He says, no. I said, can you guarantee one more day? He says, no. I said, can you guarantee walking out of that room as much as you tell me you want to leave now? He says, no. I said, so what are you waiting for? Go pursue your passion now. And this is the message is, if it gets really, for me, if it gets really tough sometimes, I just remind myself, listen, you're going to die anyway. You might as well die pursuing your passion. Because you know what? If you give up on it and you don't pursue it and you don't die, you're going to live miserable.
We go back to the essence of who we are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you took, I mean, a lot of us, well, if I had the money, if I had the time, if I had my youth, if I had all this stuff lined up, then I can pursue my passion. It's actually the other way around. You know, you find your passion, your purpose, and you work into that, you dive into that, you live that, and all that other stuff comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, wow, thank you for sharing that one. So let me ask you, you've done so much in the last several years. What's next for you? What's your big vision?
Wow, amazing question. So for me, I'm at the stage now where the whole passion platform got into its, I would say, saturation from a research and development point of view. So all the platforms are there. We have the Passion Sundays, about 160 interviews out there already, available for free to the public. We have we have condensed that into the Passion Journey online course, which we've done now in 2 languages already, in English and in Arabic. And the Live Passionately is my next outcome, which is happening by the end of this year. It's the book. It's going to be called Live Passionately. And that's a shorter version of the Passion Journey course, which is something that people can read in a long weekend and learn the tools and tips. And then what I want to do is we're working together with experts from specific industries to start creating niche passion researchers. So now we're working on passionate leadership as a specific track under passion. So this is targeted more towards senior leaders. We're working on Passionovate. That's a bit of a tongue twister. So it's passion and innovation coming together in one. They become Passionovate. And that is another track we're working on. And then we're working on the passionpreneur development. So passionpreneurs are people who have found their passion and then want to be converted into passionate entrepreneurs, which is really what my nickname became now, is the passionpreneur, which is passionate entrepreneurs. And in that we have multiple tools. So the first one we're doing for people is for passionate entrepreneurs, is we are helping them write their books. So we launched Passionpreneur Publishing. So we have a publishing company already published 15 books for people that want to spread their message to the world. And then the second one we're doing is we have influencer sites, which are websites for, again, passionate experts that want to launch their digital presence to the world. And then what we're doing is we want to work with them on helping them launch businesses around their passion. So really it's that spreading from a single point of passion and going in every vertical area and expanding the whole horizon of the offering that we're providing.
That is fantastic. I'm on somewhat of a similar path.
Beautiful.
I'm just about to launch my passion course.
You're one of the passionpreneurs that we would like to have with us on the journey.
That is just amazing. I love it. The final question that I have for you, and I'm really curious about this one. Do you have a favorite quote that you live by, or a quote that comes up over and over for you?
Of course. So basically I have 2 things that I always say. My own quote and my mantra that I teach to people is that I am a master of my destiny, not a victim of my history. Because to be passionate, you need to always be able to repeat that. And you will be knocked out, and you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to have fuck-ups, and you're going to have mess-ups, and you're going to fall down. So you really want to be able to get back up again, and no matter how hard it gets, at a point of time, turn around and say, you know what, I'm a master of my destiny, not a victim of my history. Because there'll always be things that you can look back at, and you need to move on with that. And the more I say that, and the other thing is, that's why my signature is Live Passionately. Under Live Passionately, I say, live passionately so much that your life is a life worth dying for. Because when your life is
And
worth dying for, it becomes a life worth living.
I absolutely love that. Well, I don't know if you've read my book yet. Did I ever send you the
Not
book?
yet. No, not yet.
I would send it to you after this then.
Done.
There was a story in the book by a man named Ben Beeler.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben had a rough life. He made some poor choices. Landed in jail. And when he got out of jail, he realized he had to make different choices in life. And he did. And he was on a wonderful path. And he just passed away 2 days ago. And he contacted me a month ago to write his book and kept putting it off. And now he's gone. And for me, it was almost a wake up call. How many of us are doing that? How many of us are putting off life and living and passion for that someday when everything lines up and we can finally live?
Yeah. So it's really about, I mean, you never know, tomorrow never comes. So you really want to live today with as much passion as you can.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful way to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your time here.
Thank you very much, and really appreciate it. And hats off to you for all the amazing work that you're doing. The world needs, it's not only one Mr. Passion or one Miss Passion or one passion guy, one passion girl. The world needs a lot of us because the world needs a lot of passion. So hats off to you and to all of those listening to your show, because it also takes a lot of courage and commitment to be able to continue on a path of pursuing passion. So guys, it's not easy, but it's rewarding. I promise you, it's worth the pain. And remember, no matter how tough it gets, it's not going to be as tough as if you don't pursue your passion and you live long enough to look back at your life and say, I should have. That's the most painful thing you'll ever do. So go pursue your passion and live passionately.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. I go forth with your work. You're going to impact so many. I believe you have a number.
7.7 million. Yeah, 7,777 and 777. And it's more of a figurative figure, because it's a 7. The number 7 is considered the number of the heavens. So in a way, it's an infinite number. So when you reach a 7.7, it's meant that I would love to reach infinity. I am working towards reaching the actual number, and numerically, it's a message to the universe to help us expand the number. And this is why I get so blessed and lucky by attracting more people like you into our life who are truly also on a similar journey and want to help us pursue the passion.
I love that. My number is 22.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to have to think about what messages I want to send out.
Awesome.
Thank you so
much. Thank you very much for the
really truly cross someday. If you come to the U.S., you have a place to
Hopefully.
stay.
Thank you. I am honored, and I'm in between Dubai and Australia, so you're also welcome in both places. And the world needs a lot more of what you're doing, so keep up the great work.
Australia is on my list.
Awesome. Thank you.
So maybe perhaps our paths will cross there.
Awesome.
Have an amazing evening.
Likewise.
Thank you
very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you after this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And how do you say passion? How's the sign for passion?
Passion or passion. I sign passion because
I like this.
This is the sign for enthusiastic.
Okay.
And part of passion is enthusiasm.
Okay, I see.
The other sign, passion, is hunger.
And
a longing and a hunger. So there's two different signs.
So if I'll do this then. Good.
Longing and passion. Yeah. I often sign passion because
I want what's my sign?
Enthusiasm.
If you've seen any of my videos, I always have that signature move where I say 3, 2, 1, passion, and we do this. So.
Okay.
So we'll do this. Yes.
So now you have this too, which is you can share that with you, in
awesome.
your passion journey.
Appreciate it.
Enthusiasm.
Thank you very much.
For longing and hunger.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Stop the recording here. Okay.